Here's our leader, Kirk Shelmerdine, coming down for his pit stop. His first and only pit stop of the day, 55 miles an hour, and he slows down very deliberately right in the very middle of pit road. Phil Harris and the crew waiting on him as he heads down toward Bill Weber.
And as a crew chief for Dale Earnhardt, Kirk Shelmerdine engineered some of the best pit stops in Winston Cup history. Now he has to execute one. He's going to get screened out by the 66. That will cost him dearly. They also got snookered on the racetrack. There was some thought that the others behind him might try and pit before he expected it. He comes on the pit road. The car smokes heavily out the left side tailpipes. Right side tires going on. One got away. They got it back. They come around to the left side. Putting on the left side rubber. Fuel is in. Should have plenty of fuel. Shelmerdine just sitting there. Smoke continues to pour out of the pipes. Car's down. And he heads back out. Let's see if he can pick up a drafting partner and the pack that pitted just a lap ago.
And Frank Kimmel may have a problem. The Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet doesn't seem to be up to speed. In fact, slowing down. He is down on the apron. Having just pitted a little bit ago, his car very slow entering turns 1 and 2. And caution, Ed Kennedy's car number 00.
And already another car, Randall Ritter, goes around. I think he got a bump from the 84 car of Norm Benning.
They saw some smoke out of one car. It might have been out of the Kimmel car, but the 00 of Ed Kennedy goes around. Randall Ritter in the 31 car has also had hard contact. Ray Dunlap.
Jerry, this is the exact same situation that we saw 1 year ago for Bobby Gerhart. He stayed out there longer than everyone else because he had good fuel mileage, and we had a few cautions early. He gets the caution late. We'll be able to pit under caution, and that put him in position to win this race in 1999.
As Benny said earlier, it's better to be lucky than good.
We're going to take a turn and a half a bite out of the left rear. Everyone copy. All right, rolling the green. Tires. 4 tires. I'll roll the left front. I need someone to roll the left rear. Grady, roll the left rear, buddy.
Talking about Grady Humphrey.
Bobby, how's the windshield? Don't even worry about it, guys. Just get me free.
Get me free.
All right, take a look at what happened to bring out the caution, the 00. That is Ed Kennedy out of Coppell, Texas.
He gets hit from Brian Ross. Gets in the back of Kennedy. And look at Ron Cox go by in the 23 car. And there we see Norm Benning get in the back of Randall Ritter. Ritter right across in front of Ronnie Hornaday. And Ritter in the outside wall, but Benning and Hornaday able to continue on.
The 2 cars damaged in this incident. Of course, the 00 of Kennedy, and the 31 there is Randall Ritter. Now, we mentioned that Frank Kimmel was slowing down. We saw his car. He is just creeping along on the apron and now pulls the car down. Let's check in on his pits with Ray.
Well, Jerry, we told you about a number of cars that had to go to the back, and one of those was Lyndon Amick because he had an engine go bad and they had to change it. Kimmel had an engine go bad earlier this week too, but it was before qualifying, so their racing engine, the one they wanted to use for this race, had a bad valve train. They had to put a backup engine in it right now, and it just broke. So Frank Kimmel done for the day here at Daytona.
Creeping down, what a tough break for the former series champion, 1998 ARCA champion. There's a look at the leader right now, Bobby Gerhart. He goes by the cars that are parked up there, and you see Kimmel's car just coasting along.
Everyone take your time. There is no rush here at all, gentlemen. No rush. No rush. The time. Second gear, 3200. Second gear, 3200. Rush, fellas. Everyone easy. Nice and easy. There's no pressure, gentlemen. We got them. No pressure. Get all the lugs tight. Easy, easy, easy. Perfect.
Guys, I told you earlier that an old race car might win this race today. The car that Bobby Gerhart is driving is the very first race car that was ever built in-house at Hendrick Motorsports. It's Hendrick chassis #1. They call it Old Dusty, and Bobby Gerhart says this is the very best race car he's ever had on a super speedway. The break came to him when they stayed out for a long pit start without coming in for a gas and go, and because of that, getting the yellow, they'll be able to pit under caution here and get back out onto the racetrack. Billy, his brother, telling him, take it easy. We don't need to make a mistake here. They may have just won the race.
How about that? You know, he waited 12 years and had 113 starts before getting his first win. It coming a year ago in this race. He may have to wait just 12 months to get win number 2, as he certainly has a great shot at picking up his second win. And the hood goes up on the former series champion Frank Kimmel's car, as we are under caution for the 3rd time today at Daytona. Back with more in a moment. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. We are less than 25 laps from the conclusion of the Pro2Call ARCA 200. We are under caution for the 3rd time today. Caution coming out on lap number 55 for an incident coming up in turn 4.
Brian Ross, the 67 car, gets in the back of 00 Ed Kennedy and pushes his 00 around into the wall. Goes Kennedy. Now, Ron Cox does a great job. He slows, but behind a car slows down. Randall Ritter slows down, but Norm Benning can't get stopped. He runs in the back of Ritter into the wall, and Hornaday, Ronnie Hornaday in the 97 just squeezes by in that red and blue car.
Now, Kyle, look at it from Ron Hornaday's roof camera.
Yeah, here he is behind Norm Benning. Norm Benning runs up there and gets in the back of the yellow car. The yellow car swerves to the right, comes left. And let me tell you, that's just, you pick a lane and you go with it, and it's hard to do that when you're young and inexperienced, but he did a great job.
And the beneficiary of all that was this car number 5, Bobby Gerhardt in the Kuwait Casinos Chevrolet. Let's check in down with our host, Bob Jenkins. Bob?
Doc, I've got a 2-time ARCA champion with me from 1987 and 1991, Bill Venturini. And Bill, as Ray mentioned a few minutes ago, this is far from a new car that Bobby Gerhardt's driving.
Yeah, he made the comment that this is an ex-Hendrick car. He's right. But you don't take a car to Daytona or Talladega, which are the super speedways, and have him come right out of the box and be fast. This is, I think, the 9th race that Bobby's been running this car. And we talked about, you know, every time you race here, you find something that makes it work a little better. You go home, you do a little homework, you change a fender here, you do a little more work on the car, and every race it just gets a little better and better. And it showed last year. He won with this car here, and he was quick in Talladega. And we had talked earlier this week, and he said, Bill, I did a little more homework again since Talladega. I think we'll be okay today.
And good strategy by staying out there and waiting for this caution. But remember, we've got quite a few laps to go. Anything can happen. Let's go to the pits and Ray Dunlap.
Well, we got a little discussion down here as Billy Gerhardt is talking it over with Mike Ewer, an ARCA official. The question becomes whether or not the 25-lap rule is in effect here, and Billy's taking a look at it. Now, there's a number of cars that are ahead of Bobby on the racetrack that would be shown in the tail end of the lead lap. So we've got a little bit of a scoring issue. They're taking a look at it, and we're just clarifying that right now to see. It appears that the cars that are ahead of him are in the lead lap. Now, Bill Weber.
Well, very similar situation down here in Kirk Shelmerdine's pit. They want to know exactly where they are, not only on the racetrack, but on the scoring sheet. They've got an ARCA official. He's talking to the booth. Meanwhile, the pace car is on pit road, and the green flag is out.
Well, while they sort that out, we'll go back to green flag racing. That'll sort it out quicker than anything else, I guess. So restart lap 61. The caution out for 5 laps, 3rd time today.
The score monitor is showing David Keith, the 95 car, as the leader.
And I don't understand that, because he didn't. The guys that have pitted should at least be a lap down, or like he says on the tail end of the lead lap. This is the worst thing for a driver's head, is to be out there knowing that you're in a lap by yourself, or knowing you should be leading the race. They're not giving you credit. You want to know where you are. Everybody wants to know where they are. You heard him say something about Kirk Shelmerdine, wanting to know who he's racing with. You know, all you can do here is suck it up and run as hard as you can run and try to beat everybody you can, and then let it shake out when the race is over.
Well, that's what David Keith apparently is going to do, Kyle. He's zipped by a couple of cars there. Now moving in on the Pontiac, the accelerator Pontiac of Mike Swaim Jr., the car number 22 right in front of him.